Hi, parents. I wanted to share with you some ways that you can help your child stay motivated at home. These are the ways that I've used in the classroom. And while I'm not a parent, these are some strategies that have helped me keep the students focused and on task while we're learning at home. And I know this way of remote learning is new to all of us. And I want to say thank you so much for the work that you're doing. We're all doing our best in this new and difficult time. So, the first way that I'm going to discuss is pretty simple. Okay, in class, when we start our day, I go over orally and sometimes with pictures the things that we're going to do during the day. So, by showing the students the schedule for the day and explaining our tasks and our goals, it helps the students feel comfortable and safe. It helps them have a sense of ownership and predictability so they know what to expect in the day. So, for example, if I was focusing on day 2 and I was explaining to the students, I would say, here's our schedule for today. We're going to be reviewing the story we looked at yesterday, and we are going to be writing about character traits. You're going to post a picture and share what you've learned. And we're going to review the same story we learned in Spanish yesterday, and you're going to post a picture to show what you've learned in that story. We're going to do read to self, and you're going to practice your high frequency words. And after that, we're going to work on our journal entry and then go on to the writing process where we'll sketch and label from our list from yesterday of things we know how to do. And last, we will work on math. And maybe you'll do ST math also if we have time. So by going over orally, and even what would be even better is by showing them this list, and by going over what they're supposed to be doing, they know what to expect and they know the assignments. And it could be even helpful to do a check with your finger of every time they complete an assignment, or if you've printed this out, to let the student cross out their activity so they know that they've finished and they've accomplished that activity. So the first way to increase their motivation is by setting the structure, showing them what they're going to be doing, and explaining the goal for the day. The second way that um, I've been able to help students stay motivated in the classroom is by playing the game students versus teacher. So you can do this on a paper. I'm just using the whiteboard service from Zoom. So we set up the goal. For example, the first group to get to 10 points will win. And we always set it up where it's the group of students collectively versus the adult. I'm never setting up one student versus another. Because we know as adults, we might already know all of the answers to the math problem or know how to read all of the words. But the goal is for the students to feel accomplished and that they are demonstrating their learning in comparison to what the adult already knows. So we've used this for reading words, we've used this for adding, we've used this for staying focused. It's important to set up some ground rules. So students, you need to raise your hand if you know the answer. And if the students don't follow the rules, then the teacher or the adult gets a point. If the students are able to demonstrate, for example, that they know how to read the word, they get a point. If you write the next word or you show another word and they're able to read the word, then they will get another point. The only time the teacher or adult is getting points in our class is when the students do not follow the rules, or as a group, I see that there's a lot of errors. And so I might say, oh, well, I noticed that some of us didn't have the correct answer, or the answer was 7 and some of us were showing 5. And so this time, Miss Kim is going to get a point, but that's okay. Next time, maybe you'll get the point and we'll continue the game. And so let's say the goal was 5 points. When the students have reached their goal, we would say good game to each other, and we would celebrate the winning team, maybe with a happy dance or a cheer. And I would say, well, you know what? It's okay, maybe next time. And this is also a good opportunity for the students to see how you as the adult deal with not winning, because of course we want the students to succeed and win the game and beat us. All right. So we've talked about explaining the goal. We've talked about using students versus teacher as a way to increase student motivation. Another way that I've shared with you before is by using a stamina chart. So while this one is talking about being an independent reader, you can really use a stamina chart for tracking anything. Maybe instead of minutes read per day, it's the number of words they're able to read. Maybe it's the number of minutes that your child is able to work without coming up and asking you for help with something. Maybe it's the number of math problems that they're able to do on their own correctly. Or maybe it's just, maybe you're working on having them sit or stand and maintain focus during their work. Whatever skill that you are working on at home, you can use a stamina chart to help them increase their stamina by recording each day how many minutes or the number of things that they're doing. And again, this is the student visually able to see their own progress by tracking on this chart, and it's the student competing against themselves to show their own improvement. Okay, the last thing that we use in class, while in class we use a little bit different kind of one. Let me see. Uh-oh, where did it go? Come back. We use a class timer. So let's see if mine will pop up. I'm gonna have to switch this way. So in class, we are able to use a timer, and mine is not popping up. Oh, here it is. So I've just pulled up easily by Googling fun online timers, and I've been able to find some timers that you can use. I know a lot of us have devices. If you've gotten a device from the school, there's a timer that you can use there. So this is just an alternative way if you want your child to set up the timer on their own, or you want to set it up on their device while you are doing some work on your own. So I like this website because it has different choices and it has a lot of fun ones. So, and what's important to remember is that if you're allowing your child to choose a fun timer, let's say the egg timer, you set it up for them and you let them just watch. So I put this one for 12 seconds. See, my computer is freezing, but I put this one for 12 seconds and I'm just gonna watch the timer go through the process first. Anytime we're doing something new, it's really important to not just have them use it on their own the first time, because it will be really distracting. So if you're setting, let's say we're gonna put this timer for 2 seconds, we're going to set it, we're going to start it, and let your child just watch and hear the sounds. Okay, now you're ready to use it for work. We're going to go back. We're going to say, I would like you to work for 5 minutes, and we're gonna set the timer for that time, for 5 minutes. So the first time you're using something new, always let them play around with it first, because that will help increase the focus when you actually want to use it for a task. I really like this one, Liquid Egg Timer, because it's really simple, pretty. You can change the color in the background, and let's see, I like the visual for the students. All right, so as we watch this timer, let's remember the 4 ways. So setting and explaining the goal by showing your child the assignments they're going to be working on. Playing the game students versus teacher can help increase their motivation and focus. Using a stamina chart and using a timer to make sure they're staying on task for their work time. I hope these ways have been helpful for you and that you're able to continue working with your child at home. And there's our time.